guys, welcome back into the stream. I told you guys I'll be back with some more updates. And there has not been much updates that came out on the media side of things, just a lot of things that we kind of already figured. From my understanding, the latest we have is that they may have gotten a identity or a name for the suspect that did this to Charlie Kirk, and I want to get into that. But for the most part, my main focus today is I want to talk about how I come to be more on the conservative side. I know a lot of people may think that, well, you know what, I can't even say that because I'm not a conservative. So I have to preface that by saying preface my statements by saying that because I'm not conservative. I just tend to agree with conservative views a lot more than I do liberal views. Um, so I want to actually talk about my journey of how I got to be like that because I was a Democrat all my life, pretty much from a kid growing up in an all black family and all in a black neighborhood. We really didn't talk a whole lot about politics. A lot of things like that was not on our mind. We just stood and talk. We was just all in our own world. Like we just lived our day, went to school, and tried to have like the freshest clothes on and played basketball and stuff like that. We were never like really into politics, even though we knew who the president was. We always knew that that was not connected live in chat. We can try to. It's my live, not. Oh, I didn't add Instagram back. Sorry. Hold on. Let me get Instagram back up. I mean, not Instagram, TikTok back up. TikTok is my favorite platform right now, so we can't do this without TikTok. Hold on, my friends. We will continue on. I just want to get TikTok back up. Come on, you can do it, Tiki Taki. Mm-mm-mm. Bird. Bird is the word. Why do you keep popping up? Okay, I guess we'll do this. Yes. So, like I said, I just want to get into what made me, well, how my mindset got the way that it did, uh, which will probably be a lot of. So, I got some messages today and some comments on one of my posts today, which, fortunately for me, I don't really let what people say discourage the way encourage the way that I think. I want to change this camera, so I'm gonna put it off. Canvas, bam, get you back on. Let's go, tiki taki. I kind of find out that TikTok, I have the most success on TikTok in conversing with people over on TikTok. So I don't feel right doing a stream without having my TikTok people up with me. But anyway, so as I said, like the name of the stream is it's gonna be talking about how I came from being a Democrat all my life, and I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. Don't really associate with myself with being a Republican nor Democrat anymore because of as you learn more and more about government, you come to understand that neither side is having the best interest at your full interest anyways. They're going to always be self self motivated to build their own legacy. Is always about the money and the dollar bill. The best we can hope for now is to find out who aligns more to help our community and push for the agendas that we think is necessary for us and our and our family in the future. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory about me and where I come from. What's going on, Kelly? How you doing? I was born and raised in a place in a small city called Shreveport, Louisiana. All my life up until I was about 16. I never really knew any other any other city or nor state besides Shreveport, Louisiana. I had never really just been outside the state. Um, to me, going outside of Shreveport to Bossier and Mansfield, that was like going to another state. It wasn't until I graduated high school and was able. What's going on, Kale? How you doing, brother? And was able to move to Atlanta with my aunt, which my aunt is kind of like the person I always say that saved my life. My Thank you for liking the live over there, Kelly. And we'll get into that in another stream. But like when you're talking about like the person that I cherish and the most out of anybody on this whole planet is my auntie. But anyways, we'll talk about that in another story. But up until up until recently, basically 2017 or 18, I was always a Democrat. Like, and not because of I chose to be a Democrat, it's because of that's just what you were whenever you was born and raised in the black community. Everybody just automatically thought black people Democrats, white people are Republicans. Let me check out this audio over here on Spotify. Hopefully, it's not up too loud. How is that? How is the volume over there on Spotify? The music. If it's too loud, let me know. I can turn it down, or I can just check it myself. Give me 1 second to check it myself. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, I think we're good over there. Then it's not too loud. Um, Need to unmute it because I'm not gonna be able to talk with it in my ear like that. Mhm. Where did I left out yet? Yeah. So we was always just under the impression that everybody was white, was a Republican, and everybody was black, was a Democrat. So when I moved out of Louisiana, it opened up my eyes to a whole different world. I only saw my future as being something like very, very minimal. Like I always knew that I had to keep the capacity and ability to do something a lot bigger than what my city would have given me like the avenue to do. So when I moved to Atlanta, it just gave me more free think, and I just thought like the world was my oyster. You know, I could kind of do whatever the hell I wanted to do if I really just put my mind to it. And I'm almost certain if I would have stayed in Louisiana, I probably would have been either with thousands of kids or in jail somewhere because the that's kind of like the stigma when it comes to that. Well, I can't really say that because my brothers and sisters they are not like coming in and out of jail. Like they live pretty okay, like normal lives, and so I can't really say that. My mom didn't. Well, not my mom, but my grandmother and my great grandmother, they didn't raise us to be that way. Anyways, we got our ass toe up whenever we did something that we have no business doing. So it kind of taught us discipline at a at an early age, and I kept that with me for a long time. And to be honest with you, the last time I really got into some real trouble was when my grandfather died. Ever since he died, there was no reason for me to get in trouble because he was the only person that could really discipline me enough to whereas it actually mattered. You know, so when he died, it was like something in my head just switched off. Like, you know what, ain't no sense of getting in no trouble. You know. But anyways, moving forward, so I can clearly remember before Trump running for president, Trump was in everybody's rap video, everybody's music video, commercials, all kind of ads, Jet magazine, everywhere. Trump was there, so we knew Trump as kids growing up as someone that we wanted to be like. And that was my first impression of Trump. I didn't know him personally. Of course, I didn't. A little kid from the ghetto in Shreveport, Louisiana, didn't know anybody named Trump. But I did know the figure that we saw on TV. Thanks, Mom, for the like over there. I did. We did have some connection to him in the urban culture because he was kind of one of our idols. It wasn't up until Trump decided to run for president that the black community turned on him. And I think, and I'm not gonna just say the black community just did it out of their own fruition. I think it was more so we were told who we can and can't support and like and love and hate. So I was just like everybody else. Whenever Trump ran for president, I was like, "Fuck no, ain't no way. I'm not supporting no Trump. I wish they would. I wish they would. Um, elect Trump, man, they move. You remember this? Oh man, if they elect Trump, man, I'm moving to a whole nother country. I ain't staying here. There was no way I thought that President Trump would become the president. I did not vote for him then, and I think I want to say at that 2000 for 2016, I want to say I actually voted for Hillary. I don't know if I actually voted that. No, you know what? I didn't vote. I didn't vote. Up until that point, I had the only president I had ever voted for was Barack Obama, and we'll talk about that in a whole different live. But the only president I had ever voted for up to that point was Barack Obama, and stupid me, I was just thinking for sure that Hillary Clinton was gonna win, and I wanted her to win. I didn't really know the demon that she would play out to be, and the skeletons that was in her closet. Because I was always like not necessarily told what to believe, but it was instilled in us like this is what we believe. You know, my mom had never set me down and say that, hey, you are a Democrat and you're gonna vote. She never done that before. Nobody in my family has ever done that before. And I don't think that ever happens in the black community in general. It's just like if you grew up as a black person, especially like in a poor town, and you're like we did, like you're automatically just doing that. What's going on, T Flex? So, anyways, I was just like everybody else. I did not want Trump to become the president. I was like the same. I came from loving Trump from in the music videos and saying, "Oh, I want to be like Trump." Like Trump is like, it was all Trump. And then when the media told us that he was not a good candidate for presidency, I didn't like Trump. So when he finally won the presidency, I was like, oh man, this racist shit would have happened. They didn't want which was looking back on, like it doesn't make sense because I don't know how. Right. Well, we I think that we're gonna get past this T Flex, but all they did was they just breeded a whole lot of Charlie Kirk. That's all they did. Um, but anyway, so whenever Trump became president the first time, I just thought that was all like we actually voted somebody from TV to be the president, and they were always talking about how racism was going to break out and how he was going to do this to the black community and all this stuff was going to happen. And then I remember like being in like a year or two into his presidency, and I'm like, all the shit that they said that was going to happen, it didn't happen. So that was my first clue into like not really just believing what everybody else was saying. I still was like anti-Trump a little bit, but I was more open to listening to what he had to say and what his political views were. And that was the first time I actually started to go back and listen to something that Trump was doing. Previously, if there was a news interview or any kind of what you call it, um, briefing, I wouldn't watch it. Like if I saw it come, I just go past. Like it was just second nature to not watch it. But it became a point to whereas like, I need to start to pay attention to our president a little bit more because something's not adding up from what the media is saying and what I'm actually seeing with my eyes. And I started to listen to him a little bit more and actually pay attention to what he was actually saying. And then the very next day or a week later, I would see how the media would say that he said something totally different. And mind you, at this time, I was still not on Trump. I was not a supporter of Trump. But like me, I'm a fair person. Like I'm not one of those people to like try to bully down on people. I don't like to sit there and try to like if I see somebody getting beat up on, I'm not gonna just beat up on them because the crowd is beating up on them. Like fair is fair. So I was watching something that he was an interview or something that he was doing, and then like a week later, it wasn't a week later because that was fast on Trump. The media had put out something and said that he had said something that he didn't say. I'm like, no, I was watching this. Like, and I was not supporting him at that time, but that's not what he said. I 100% understood what he was saying. Now he has his own way of saying things, but even then, not being a Trump supporter, I had enough common sense to know that he did not say that. That's not the words that came out of his mouth. And especially not in that context. Hold on a second. What happened to my Facebook over here? So that was my very first cue to not believe in everything that I see on the news. And mind you, again, at that point, I I was not one of those people that was. I didn't know anything that Fox News was right or was more conservative, and CNN was liberal. I had no idea about none of that stuff. Like so, I can say that I can sit here and say that I was only watching this station opposed to that news station because I wasn't. I was watching whatever I can, whatever was on TV at that time. If I wasn't watching like all the reality TV stuff and all that. So that's like 2 years into his presidency, and then one day somebody, I guess, because of I was just searching up every time they would say that he said something or something happened, I would go look up for myself, and I guess because of my search history, Google started to recommend me other people to listen to or watch, and I ran across this guy named by the name of Black Pharaoh, and I know when I say Black Pharaoh that you guys probably, God damn it, did I mess up my live over here um on Facebook? It shouldn't be messed up over there. You fella shit, Facebook. You fella shit. I think I shut it down by I dropped it down by mistake. I didn't mean to. Sorry, Facebook people. Hold on, let's see if I can get it back up then. Copy. Paste that. Give me this. Bam 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 bam. It was my first time streaming to Facebook. So maybe they freaking I'm already connected. Cut it out. At least it says I am over here. Thank you very much. What's this? I am. I'm not gonna. I figured out another thing. I only wanted to do Facebook today because I realized that you could do it, so I did it. Or I attempted to do it. Um, I'm getting sidetracked because of this too. Post, edit post, spam, streaming software, band setting, I'm already there. Maybe I should stop it and start it again. I think when I close it out. Sorry. Stop it and start it. See if that works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Let's see who we got in here. Follow. Hey, thanks for the follow, everyone. What's going on, Green Bear? How you doing? I'll get back into my story here just a second. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here with Facebook. Maybe if I delete it and then add it back again. Tell you what, it's not going to make me want to do Facebook if that's the way that you have to do this every time. Server, bam. Let me get my screen key here. Bam. All right, custom layout. That's fine. Come on, I got it. Cool. All right, I'm guessing that is back working. I've never streamed. Yeah, it's showing up, so I guess so. I never really. Oh, there we go. I had to actually press go live. Duh, duh, Smitty, duh. There's the video is starting. But yeah. Anyway, so back into the story. Where I left off at. Yeah. So it got to the point to where as what's going on, Miss Pris? What's going on, everybody? So it got to the point whereas like we're like 2 years into the story to the first term of President Trump, and I ran across this guy named Black Pharaoh. And be mindful that somebody like Black Pharaoh, he's so passionate about what he's talking about. Sometimes he can go too far to one side to whereas you kind of like get to the point of whereas you're gonna call him a nut. But you have to be careful with people like that to only listen to their words. How you doing? I hope you're having a good Thursday and you had a good day so far. And he was the first person that kind of what I would say red pilled me to a lot of the stuff that the black community did not know. So I started to follow him a little bit more and research the things that he was talking about. And lo and behold, a lot of the stuff that I'm not saying everything that he was saying was true, but a lot of the stuff that he would say turned out to be true. There was always a lot of evidence supporting the fact. Anytime I listen to people that they call conspiracy theorists or anybody that they called loony, you can always find some sort of evidence to back up the claim that they're making. However, you cannot often find a lot of evidence to support what other people were saying. You can their default go to is you should believe it because it was said by somebody else that they believe. Like, no, that's not how you should think about evidence in general, and that's not how you should put together facts. But anyway, so he was the first person that put me on to like what we was talking about then, the swamp and red pilling and all that stuff. I don't really like get too deep into it because of I understand if you go too far one way, then you can be looked at as it's easier for them to put a crazy label on you. People can know you all their life. They know exactly what your heart is. They know how you think. They know that you're a good person. But the one thing that even your family would turn their back onto you to for some reason is if you do not agree politically the way that they think you should agree. That has, but I don't to the life of me, I never understood how people can lead. They'll break up relationships, friendships, business partnerships over political views. I never understand that. You are free to believe what you want to believe. However, I'm one of those people that I'm going to believe what I see and what I can physically put together, or at least with my eyes or with paper or something in front of me to say, okay, A plus B equals C because I got A to match it up with B and it gave me C. That's the way I come to my conclusions. Um, but yeah, so I was listening to him for a little while, and yeah, he was a good introduction to the whole evil side of the Clintons and why we should have been scared to get somebody like the Clintons in office and them being like behind all these genocides and all this other stuff allegedly. I want to say allegedly. How you doing, Lisa? How you doing, Mama Llama? And yeah, so I decided one day, like within that first term of Trump, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be so quick to judge him and cut him off every time somebody says that he said something. I want to start to find out what he said, and just like the one of the most recent ones was when Trump he was online, and this is not really about Trump. Um, so I know when people hear anything about Trump, if they don't like him, they just lose their freaking mind. This is not really about Trump, but this just goes to show you how you have to understand the things that the responsibility of the media is to put out factual information. So once I realized that they were not doing that, all bets was off when it comes to mainstream media. I don't believe you can tell me something is true until I see it with my eyes myself, and I'm able to recreate it through like when I say recreate, I don't mean like far as like producing it myself, but if this happened, I should be able to see, okay, that person came through this door, this person did that, and this is how. Now that's my thought process. I don't trust the media no more after anymore. And like I said, one of the recent ones was when he was doing an interview, and he was talking about how a lot of the I want either the congressmen or somebody, pretty much the warmongers, they are so quick to send people like Americans off to die in these wars for no reason, but they wouldn't get out there in the war by themselves. And he framed it for as like, I would like to see this person out here in the front line with an AR, with a machine gun or something like that. And then the next day, the media got on TV and said that Trump said that he wants to put somebody in front of a fire range. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's like, that's not what he said. And when you go back and you listening to a lot of the things that they tried to say that he said, or even what Charlie Kirk said, I got into a little back and forth on my Facebook earlier today with a guy who said that Charlie Kirk said something, and I was like, okay, tell me what Charlie Kirk said. And basically, he was saying how I ain't got nothing else in here. Basically, it was something on the line. I remember the statement he was saying about um, Charlie Kirk was talking about how black people are worse off now than they were 50 or 60 years ago when slavery was a way bigger issue. And he was talking about how the government overreaching into the black household and taking the black man out of the household contributed to that. It contributed to the culture contribute to to the culture contributes into it. The father's not being in the household contributes into it, and then he started talking about how the birth rates and all that stuff. But you let the media tell it. He was saying something racist about how black people don't have nothing and they worse off now. That's not what he was saying. I watched that debate. That's not what he was saying. And you can't sit here and tell me with a sound mind that you watched that whole debate and that's what you come up with. So that lets me know that you're being told what to believe by mainstream media. So yeah, like it's crazy. Nobody, but I don't want to. He was truly a good person. Yeah, he was. He was. So let's go back. I got to backtrack a little bit. So I too was one of those people. I did not fucking like Trump that first time around, and the halfway into his first one. But then I started to look at the economy. I was doing good in my business. Like I was working for myself as a photographer, and man, that year 16 through 20 before the pandemic happened. I mean before pandemic happened. I think that was that's about right. Yeah, and man, that was some of the best years of my life as a no, he wasn't racist. It was then like the economy was good, like black people was doing good, we had money. I was living in Atlanta, like black folks was doing great, so I thought, I'm like, man, they were saying all this stuff was gonna happen, how he was gonna let all this racist stuff happen, and he was gonna do all these laws against black people, and none of that shit happened. So whenever it was time for him to do his second term, when his first one ended, that was the first time I was like, you know what? I'm going to vote this time. And that was the first time I voted for Trump. The first time I didn't vote for him, I didn't vote for him nor Hillary. The only person I voted for was Barack Obama. And which, like I said, that was before I really was hip to what was going on. And yeah, so now we're coming up to his second one, and at this time I'm like, oh man, they said all this stuff about it, and I proved a lot of that shit to be not true after believing it was true. So that alone made me want to pull for him, because nothing like being in a position to whereas you're trying to do right by man and country, but you have powers that you should be the most powerful person on earth, but you have all these media outlets that just painting you out to be like this bad person, and you're not being a bad person. So I kind of like fell for him on that end, and that see not one of the streamers. No, heck no, like no, fair is fair. Like I'm not even if I was anti Charlie and I didn't believe in him, I would still get on here and say that it's wrong for somebody to kill him over his political beliefs. Like that's crazy to me. That makes no sense at all. But anyways, whenever Trump decided to run the second time, that's when I really got full blown into like I don't want to say that I'm Republican, because I'm not Republican. I'm not even full conservative. I do agree with a lot of conservatives. Some of my favorite people on earth are conservatives, so I tend to agree with what did you say the shooter in grave. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I think let's pause for a second. I think it's awfully funny how every time a person does something like especially towards Republicans or conservatives, or they want to blame something on somebody, he magically has engraved something. He left back these manifestos, and they want to clearly point towards a particular person with a particular motivation. And it's okay, brother. Do you see the shooter? You're welcome here, brother. We can talk about whatever. And thank you guys for the follow. I'm gonna say, I'm not so quick to believe that just yet, because normally you think about it. If a person is deranged enough to want to kill somebody and become quote unquote a martyr, they're not gonna run away from that scene anyways. Not like, I mean, maybe they want to get away, maybe so, but it's often when the true cases is followed by a murder suicide, and the manifesto is made to be left behind to let people know this is what I did, this is why I did it, and yes, I am the person who did it. So I would not be surprised if the motivation is not anything to do with transgenderism or none of that. And I think it's gonna come down to be. I still believe that it's this person was sent there to do a job for somebody else that's much darker and much deeper than what the okay, so sorry, welcome to the chat. The media is telling is believing or leading us to believe, and rightfully so because they don't know themselves. I still think it's weird. I still think it's weird. The last question that was asked. Right, right. And supposedly, this is allegedly. I want to give out right information, but if you go listen to Alex Jones, there was a book that was put out on Amazon 9 hours or 19 hours before he was killed, saying that Charlie is a book something about him being killed at the age of 31 that was published it was either 9 or 19 hours before he actually died. Weird. But again, that could be something like down the conspiracy lane. I haven't got a chance to actually do my research into that. I'm just giving you all the information that I've heard so far that I am going to go and research and look into this myself. Sarah, they mentioned shooting was transgender related violence. His response was gang or non-gang related. Andrew Duco is weird, and now we find out wasn't great. Yeah, like this person went on. So basically, he's an engraver. He's a professional engraver because he can. You have to have a small enough engraver to engrave anything on a bullet. Anyways, bullets are not that big. So in a five, I have a lot of 5.56 up there, so I know how big 5.56s are. You would have to have a small Dremel to actually do that, which lets me know that this person. And now he's professional in engraving too. He's a professional in engraving. He professional at shooting. He's a younger kid in military age, which seems to be oddly the age where a lot of these people are radicalized and put into. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you got to watch Candace to talk about to get a deeper red pill on that. Duco's weird. Follow the host. Thank you for the follow, everybody. That person should have been questioned that asked that question. Yes, that person should. And also, I think it was mighty strange that the first guy that they stopped, he immediately was like, yeah, and I'll do it again. So he knew he wasn't a person that did it, but why would you falsely do that? Was that to throw off the FBI or the FBI didn't arrest him, but the policemen at that time from doing their job to thinking that they caught the right person? I don't know. Were you planted there to do that? Like that? Yeah, it definitely was a decoy. Definitely was a decoy. All right. I don't want to get too much because I do want to talk about that next. I'm more so into the point of like how I got to believe the way or think the way that I think. So going back to now is Trump getting ready to go for his second term, and I'm full blown like I'm supporting Trump because I see the lies that the media is doing, and then a lot of things that they was I've seen Trump have conversations with black people, interviews with people that's of color, and the way that he interacted with them was not of a person that I thought was a racist, and that always set on my mind too. And I'm like, no, like that. You can look at his face and when, like in his eyes, like he's attentive to people that he's talking to, and he was talking to this black lady at one point in time, and he was talking to this lady with so much passion and sincerity, and you can just tell that he wanted to understand where she was coming from. Like that wasn't to me. I didn't see a racist, so that was the final straw for me. And I was like, nah, this man don't hate no black people. I knew that anyways because all the black people was putting them in the music back then that we used to sing. So I knew that he didn't dislike black people. All the videos and stuff that he came into, like, nah, fuck out of here. Anyways, second time around, I'm getting ready. I'm going full blown on Trump. I'm on my photography page. If y'all don't know, I'm a photographer. Well, I'm an ex-photographer. Well, I still do photography, but time to time. I had at that time 250,000 followers on my Instagram. My Instagram is J Smith Revealed. I'll type it in here. J Smith Revealed. Yes. That's my photography page. Is not if you're very very conservative, don't go that way because like I said, I agree with most conservative people, but I don't claim to be like full conservative because I still have my ways that I want to get better about myself. So, anyways, I had 250,000 followers at that time, and I was like, you know what, this is like the perfect time for me to speak on what I'm seeing and try to do what I can so that we don't let this evilness into the office. And man, I kid you not, within 2 or 3 days, I lost like 50, 52,000, 53,000 followers like in 2 days. They did not like the fact that I did not think the way that they thought. And all that did was give me more and more of a reason to think the way that I thought. Because if people can be that brainwashed to had they knew me all their lives, all my career. Like I started from zero to 250,000 followers, and as a photographer, I was one of the biggest photographers in Atlanta. Like I've worked with a lot of celebrities. I've been on multiple reality TV shows, like doing film and stuff for them, photo shoots with some of the biggest names in the game. Just go to my Instagram, you'll see that. But anyways, and overnight, bam! Soon as I decided that I didn't believe the things that they believe, shit hit the fan. They did not like it. Oh, I'm unfollowing you. I was working on a pilot at that time with this prominent black family. They were getting ready to, like, they're very well off. Well, they're not like well known, but they're very very wealthy. But we were shooting a pilot for them to. It was almost like being like the black version of the Kardashians out of Atlanta. And overnight, that family turned over me. They were like, "No, we don't want to work with you no more. The way you believe." I'm like, and that was good money that I had lost. The community loves him. Exactly. That was good money that I had lost. That was a big contract. But luckily at that time, I was doing really well as a photographer. Bad for me was that second go around was when the pandemic hit, and I never forget this. Like I never forget, like it was yesterday. I was in Miami. I was recording something for another pilot. I was shooting some stuff for another pilot, and we got locked down in Miami for a couple of days because we couldn't fly. And I always say that I'm thankful that for God that I was in this situation, because if there was anywhere that I wanted to be stranded and couldn't go home, it was there in Miami because we was having a ball. 1,000 followers overnight, and then it started to trickle down a little bit more. Now probably like 180 something overall on Instagram. I don't even use it anymore because I don't really think it's as important as people think it is. I'm probably going to end up turning it to another page, but I still have the passion for photography, so I'll probably still continue to keep that page open. Yeah, so moving on. So around that time, when they, in my beliefs, Trump was cheated out of that second election. And the joke is on them, because if they would not have messed with that election and just let him get his last little 4 years out, everything it would have been prime for them, because if they could have introduced somebody like Kamala, which I'd have never voted for Kamala anyways. Maybe back then when I wasn't open to what was going on, I probably would have. But by them doing that way, I was upset. So I come from the first time not wanting him to be president at all, to the second time saying, like, no, hell yeah, he better be president. We're not picking no damn Joe Biden. Nobody don't even like Joe Biden. Matter of fact, Joe Biden, I gotta be careful how I say this. Black people, my people, have some of the most selective memories ever. They tend to not I'm not gonna say they tend to not remember one person being racist, but they can perfectly remember another person being racist. Like Joe Biden was always even when I was a Democrat, we was always like warned of his policies and how he didn't like the black community. Well, I can't necessarily say that he didn't like the black community, but a lot of his policies surely did lean that way to hurt the black community. So all of a sudden, we forgot about his actions and what he physically did do laws and stuff like that towards the black community, but we turned on Trump, which the black community loved. Like that was so dumb to me. And then on the FYP post, man, I'm here. I was confused on the FYP post. What do you mean? You got to explain that to me. What is FYP post? You got to explain that to me, brother. I'm not sure. But yeah, so that second time when he didn't get it all, man, I was freaking. He didn't when Trump did not win that second election. I was like, damn, now the country is really gonna go down in flames. And to be honest with you, that was those years with Joe Biden. I'm with Charlie. I'm with Charlie. Charlie, hell yeah, I'm with Charlie. That's what I'm talking about. I'm getting into my story on how I became to listen, like to follow somebody like Charlie. Like you have to be here from the beginning to understand what I'm talking about. But maybe stand around a little bit longer, you know. But I'm just going through my backstory. Thank you for the follow as well. So whenever Trump did not get that second election, man, I was real hard into listen to people like Charlie Kirk, Matt Walsh, all those people that I would have never have listened. Thank you for the bits as well, Stack. All those people that I would have never have listened to in the beginning. And honestly, I was even listening to a lot of Jordan Peterson with his "Clean Your Bed." Like he wasn't a bad man. Hell no. Peterson, I'm not really sure where Jordan Peterson is now. Like I know that like a lot of his stuff, like, he's been in a lot of controversy from the thing, his beliefs changing. And I'll get to that a little bit later, but I'll listen to them. And then I was introduced to Candace Owens. Oh my God. I think Candace Owens was she still today is, in my opinion, first of all, I hope that she gets involved with Turning Point a lot more now that Charlie is gone, because if there's anybody that can pick up where he left off at with the same kind of grind and grit, it would be somebody like Candace. Candace is a little bit more stern. She's polished as well too, but I would love to see her get more involved with Turning Point, especially since her and Charlie kicked it off together anyways. But yeah, so I started listening to more conservative minds, and then when they would speak, I would be like, why do Democrats? Exactly. Nobody agrees with everybody all the time, and if you do, like if you agree with a person 100% of the time, you should rethink the way that you think. You know, I don't agree with Donald Trump 100% of the time. Like it's something I always say that about 85% of the shit that he's doing right now, I love. I'm gonna say about 85 to 90% of the shit that he's doing right now, I love. But there's always 10% that I don't agree with, and that's gonna be like that. I'm not gonna agree with anybody 100%. I don't think it's possible, because unless they're in my brain, they think the way that I think 100%. We're not gonna agree on things 100%. But anyways, so I started to listen to people like Charlie talk, and I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of fucking sense. Let me research this. Why is the abortion rate why is the abortion rate so high in the black community? Why are all the abortion clinics around the black communities? Why are there a lot of ABC liquor stores in the hoods? Like why? Because people that's rich and wealthy, they love liquor too. They like it. So why isn't there a lot of it around those neighborhoods? So it made you think, and you went to go do your research. So when you are able to confirm or affirm something that they said in the it's wild getting into a debate on a live. Getting into debate, that is crazy. Like to kill somebody because you don't believe what they saying. Like I would respect you more if you came up to me and said, yo, I don't agree with what you're saying, and I'm so pissed off with what you're saying that we are in a mutual combat state. I would love to take out my frustration on you and beat your ass in the ring. Do you agree? I would respect you more, and I would probably say yes, because I'm okay with some physical altercation, whether I win or lose. And after we have to agree. After that, you got either your ass whooped or you whoop my ass. Now let's move on from it, because we're not gonna agree whether you whoop my ass or not. We're still not gonna agree, because your ass whooping is not gonna make me change my mind. He spoke a lot of other people. Yeah, agrees 100% with everyone. Come on, it's getting wild. Yes, yeah. That I would respect you more. Like no, like this doesn't. Only thing this does is heighten the way that people thinks about Charlie Kirk, and people want you to believe just because I'm a black man or I come from a certain set of a certain category of life, I'm not supposed to listen to him. Like, no, he made a lot of sense about what he was saying, and then not only did he make a lot of sense, a lot of stuff that he was saying, I was factually able to prove. Like that's to me, it gets no simpler than that. And I left off at, oh yeah, so the same time he didn't get it, I was pissed. Um, I lost a lot of followers. Good thing for me, like my family don't really, because I live on my own anyways. I moved away from Louisiana whenever I was 17, and I kind of like went off on my own, and I'm still on my own now. Thank God I've been able to survive that long. It's getting a little bit tougher now because of I'm getting into the creator space, and I don't have the income from the photography side on. But I'll continue to push on, and I'll go through the struggle just like I did as a photographer. And I'm pretty sure the Lord will bless me a little bit, as long as I keep at it. But um, yeah, I don't get the fact that people dislike you just because you don't agree with them. Um, and even when I was a Democrat, just because I didn't believe what you believe, I didn't dislike you enough. I never had an issue with white people. I know that there's some dirty white folks, just like that there's some dirty black folks. And to be honest with you, people always talk about how white people don't like black people and black people don't like white people. Man, listen, you forget there's more than just black and white people in this world. There's a whole lot of other ethnicities, and I can guarantee you, white people are more likely to accept black people than some of the other ethnic backgrounds. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I've been around all kinds of ethnic backgrounds. The white people are more likely to accept black people than some of the other ethnic backgrounds. And I'm not gonna say a name. I'm not gonna point at them. But hey, that's true. I lived it. I know it for sure. No matter where you go, it's always somebody that's other than white people not liking black people. Now, the thing is, they do it in different ways than white people do, because white people just gonna come out and let you know how they believe, how they feel. And I'd rather know how you feel from the beginning, so I know how to deal with you. Like I can not like you, and we'll be just fine. I did not know that was off back there. Um, yeah, Stack. What's going on, Go? Thanks for stopping by. I got to cut this on back here. Off and on. I didn't mean to turn that blue. But moving on to that, so I kind of got sidetracked right there on that little rant. On that little rant. But yeah, so he didn't get it the second term. We got Joe Biden in office. My photography business went to shit. COVID was in full effect. Um, they tried to blame it on Trump. Trump was out from the beginning saying what he believed the origination of the source was. The media lied and covered it up, and lo and behold, now everything proven to be true. Everything that they said that he was lying about, that wasn't true, was loony, it all came true. And I don't, to the life of me, I don't understand how the black community, the culture, do not see that everything that these people have been telling you has been proven to be a lie. Like, that's crazy. I can't even lie to if I had a wife, I can only lie to her one time, and she'll divorce me. And she'll listen to a politician or a government official or their boss lie to them over and over and over and still believe them. It's baffling to me. They see these lies. It's either you see these lies and you're just stupid, or you don't see these lies because you're not as evolved as you say you are, and you just still been told what to believe. Um. So yeah, we're into the third try of Trump coming back, and of course they threw on this. They threw on the, oh, he what's the word? I can't say the real word. He groped somebody in a department store or blah blah blah, and that turned out to be that this was 700 years ago by this lady. And now I'm like, do you guys really believe that? Like, you believe at this time Trump was one of the biggest names in America? You really believe that he was able to go in a department store when fame was at its height, and go into a dressing room with a lady that he barely knew and or didn't know at all, and just met there and get away with doing something nasty to her, like some like people just stupid in what they believe. And then it's the paying the stripper off. So he got 30. This man got 34 felonies for 34 felonies that stemmed off one felony. That's basically like saying that the cops pulled you over for your tent, and instead of just giving you a ticket for one window being tinted, he gave you a ticket for every 10 inches of tint that's on the window. So you basically got pulled over for 10, but now you got 20 charges because you had 200 inches of tint on your window. You know how dumb that sounds? He got 34 felonies off of one misdemeanor account. That makes no sense. That made it, and again, I'm like, surely my black community would see that that's stupid. No. Black community just went along with it. He's a felon because he got 34 felonies, and you ask him, what are the felonies for? And they were like, they'll say whatever the news told them was for, and don't even know what the felonies for. So by this time, we're getting pretty much caught up to date. I started listening to Charlie Kirk really heavy about 2.5-3 years ago. Well, you know what? It wasn't too well. Maybe it was because time go by so fast. It was right when Matt Walsh came out with the What Is a Man? Right before that, a little bit before that, and that was the first time I had really heard of Matt Walsh as well. So I started getting other recommendations of people who thought like Matt Walsh, and then of course Charlie Kirk had popped up. I had already seen him out in the public eye before, but I had never really just paid attention to him a whole lot. And this man, from every interaction I've ever seen him talk, whether it was with a black person, a white person, a woman, another, he has always been the most respectful person, even when he's not agreeing with you. I watched him on a whatever podcast with all these girls in his face trying to quote unquote tipped him to doing or saying something. Thank you, Poopy, for the follow. Doing or saying something that he shouldn't be saying. He always carried himself with grace. And I always will say that men like that, or if I had a daughter, I would love for my daughter to meet somebody that had the discipline to like somebody of appreciate you. Somebody like Charlie Kirk. Like I've never seen him say anything racist. Even when he's talking about like the black community, and people be saying they say, well, why are you saying blacks? Idiot, because we're black. He's also saying blacks and whites. You're not asking why you saying whites? Like the what? What are you getting at? Like you can't use that argument to say that he's racist because he's saying blacks when he's also saying whites. That's obviously the way that he's talking about that particular situation. Instead of focusing on the substance of the conversation that he's having with these people. And even when he disagree with them and people will come and try to throw stuff on him, I seen videos of I remember when him and Candace were doing their tour. And I think she talked about it a little bit earlier on her stream, that people was throwing eggs and water and all kinds of stuff at this man, and I've never seen him get so upset. I'm pretty sure that he was probably fearful in the moment, but I never seen him upset to the point where he wanted to jump over the table and punch somebody in the eye or call somebody out their names. And I'm pretty sure he probably have, because he's only human, especially talking to a lot of the idiots that he deals with. But I've never seen that before. So you're not gonna convince me to believe that Charlie Kirk was a racist. I watched a lot of Charlie Kirk's a lot of his damn interviews and his little talk sessions at the college campuses. When I was at work, when I was working for Tesla, all I used to do is listen to him and Candace in my ear while I'm doing my work. That's all I used to listen to, all back to back. I'll go down there. I think I watched every video that Candace has ever made, and I probably watched about 70% of every video that Charlie Kirk has made. So I've watched a lot of these people, and I've never nothing. And if he was a racist, I will 100% say he was a racist. I thought he was a racist. Now I don't 100 agree with everything he says, and I don't 100% agree with everything that Candace says, but I agree with about 95% of it. It's just the way that it pans out to be. So you're gonna miss me with this. He was a racist thing. He was not a racist. No, no, I don't give a shit if he's white, green, purple, orange. He's not a racist. Um, and then that does not justify these idiots online um, celebrating this man's death. Like what? Like what? So these are the same people that that's anti death penalty. They're anti gun. They don't know what a man is. They don't know what a woman is. They don't know who can get pregnant. They all of a sudden don't know none of this stuff. But one thing they're clear on, they're clear on the fact that Charlie was a racist. So you're so sure about that, but you can't be sure of something that actually give you facts, but you have no facts to back up that this man's a racist, but you're so sure on that. I do not get these people. I do not get these people. All right, so that was kind of like, I know it's probably, I didn't have like a outline. I just opened up this stream and start talking about like how I came to think the way that I think. And I know when I go back and look over the live, I'm not going to edit any of it because I think that's going to be the beauty in the whole stream. But I'm pretty sure it's all over the place, which is fine with me. I want to now talk about a couple of things with this Charlie Kirk's incident that does not. I should have been playing this in the background. It does not add up to me. For some reason, it does not add up to me. I was speaking earlier about how the person was able to get on a roof 200 feet away from, or meters feet, whatever it was, away from Charlie, climb up there either from the outside or the inside, um, get on that roof after people know that somebody was just on the roof trying to kill President Trump because of his political beliefs, and his security never looked at. They're looking at every direction except the roofs. And I'm not saying that they, excuse me, I'm not saying that they had anything to do with it. At this point, I don't believe. I don't know what to believe, but that is mind-boggling to me. Secondly, they have video footage of him walking up the stairs. Now, from what all accounts, it make it seem like that he was walking up the stairs to the roof that he will later be laid on. Let's see if I can find that video or that photo. Because one thing that I did not see as he was walking up those stairs was a backpack on him or anything that could carry a concealed weapon. And the reason why that's important is because if he was walking up to the this is Charlie Kirk's body being brought back here to Arizona. I live about 30 minutes away from where Turning Point.
And you would assume at this point that Charlie Kirk's family is in one of the SUVs following. I think there's at least two of them following behind right now. We don't know when any funeral or memorial service will be held, but we did get the...
That's just eerie, man. That's just eerie to watch. Just the thing, just yesterday morning, this man was one of the, he's still going to be one of the most influential people to the younger cultures, the younger community, all cultures and all communities, actually, especially younger ones, to see that that's his body being carried away because somebody just unalived him like that during the event is weird. Anyways, going back to, so this, I'm going to see if I can find this picture or this video of this guy. And one thing I did not see, and I'm gonna let you guys see this with me. Oh, this is another one. I didn't see it. This is live. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and say, look like they're getting ready to have a press conference. They may have gotten some more information that we don't know about, but I want to find this photo of this guy. Look, so let me find this photo and then I'm gonna pause.
It's been nearly 20.
Go back.
24. It's been near.
One thing I don't, well, maybe that is a backpack right here. That actually it does like it's a backpack because of, yeah, I'm seeing the humps there, but I still don't think that was big. And well, maybe you could break down a rifle big. I can break down my rifle big enough to make it smaller, but I also have like an AR pistol. So what's going on, White? So, and now that I look at this on a better screen, I do see that he actually does have a backpack. So he was able to get to the top of that building from the inside because it looked like he's on the inside stairwells, and get access to their roof. Normally, businesses or hotels, they would not give you access to the top roof because it is a um liability for them. If something was to happen to you, you can your family can sue them. So normally you don't have access to the roof. It's locked or it's chained off or something. But this guy, for some reason, was able to get to the roof. Not not only that, what else do I find weird is the fact that they say that they got footage of him coming in at 11:52, something like that, and he's going straight into that building. How did he scout out what would be the perfect place to shoot Charlie from? Is what I don't understand. Unless he was there already walking around that event looking and saying that, oh yeah, I think no, this is the right place. Let me see if I can get over there. Then he walked over there, made his way upstairs, and was able to get up there and shoot Charlie, knowing obviously he would have to know that he can get access to the roof or try to get access to the roof because a lot of things would have to fall in place for him to execute this the way that he did it. So that's the first red flag. Like nobody saw him walking around trying to scout out a perfect place to shoot Charlie from because you have to first know where he is to pick a place out. So the lack of him walking around the event to find one is suspicious. The second thing it leads me to believe is that he had to know where Charlie was going to be sitting at. He had to. There's no way that you just picked that. If you didn't scout that area out, that means that you specifically went to that area, knowing that you would have a good shot at it. So either way, I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit either way. Either you got to have footage of him walking around that event, scouting out a place to go to, or he already knew where Charlie was going to be set up at. Now maybe they set up the tents for Charlie the night before, and he was able to see it. Maybe we haven't gotten that information so far, but I smell bullshit, and I know bullshit when I smell it. Something's not right here. And then the second thing is this. Well, the third thing would be the engravings on the bullets. You will come to find if you follow Candace or if you follow anybody else that tend to like push back the narrative when it comes to high profile assassinations. A lot of these tend to have some kind of manifesto, clearly pointing at some kind of reality or reason why. And I'm always weary when it comes to manifesto because I see manifestos as a way for someone to throw you off the real reason something happened. I never really just 100% believe manifestos. It's just the way my mind thinks. So he's a professional engraver. He was able to take time to engrave what he wanted to engrave on this bullet. So somewhere in his house, somewhere you should find an engraver. So maybe he destroyed it or something. And then what else was it? All of a sudden, it's a person that's a part of the LGBTQ community. He doesn't. I could be wrong. I don't know what people of the I don't know the standard look of him, but this guy does not cross me as somebody that's a part of the LGBTQ community, and he does not cross me as somebody that will kill you over your belief system. That's just my. I don't see that. I believe what my eyes is telling me. I don't see that. He obviously know his way around the rifle very well. He know how to get himself sighted in for 200 yards. Even though 200 yards is not a hard thing to do if you have basic mechanics of handling a firearm, especially a long range firearm. I can hit something at 200 yards now, and I haven't been at the gun range in a long time. So there's just something that you don't really forget. Maybe not on the first try, but once I see where I missed that, I know how to hit you the second time. So he just doesn't. I call bullshit. That doesn't add up to me. He had to know exactly where Charlie was sitting at. And that's what I have to say about that. I don't believe it. Man. All right, so let's see if we can find some of these updates that they're putting out now. I just saw somebody was getting ready to go on a live conference. Maybe they're getting ready to talk about more updates. Let's see who's live on here. Yeah, the officials hold a presser on Charlie's Kirk death investigation. Okay, we'll put this on for now. We'll mute it until it comes on. When I see somebody pop up there, we'll go into it. What's going on, Christopher Hendrickso? Oh man, the fact that this happened like that, the way that it happened to Charlie, I'm just praying that Candace and people like Candace and Carson Tucker and Byron Donaldson and Officer Tatum, I don't care what color or creed they are. If you are one of those true speakers of when it comes to the conservative side of things, man, just get yourself some better protection because as we can see, these people are bold and they are deranged. I don't remember the last time that somebody from the conservative side that's proven to be a conservative unalive somebody that was liberal. We probably punch you in your face because you was doing something to us out in public, but nobody has planned to do any. I don't know anything factual. They keep saying something about Nancy Pelosi, somebody coming to our house or something like that. That turned out, I 100% from what I remember, that was somebody else that was deranged, that was actually liberal, that was mad about something else. Like it could have been some money or something that they fucked them out of. You never know. You never know with these people. So I don't remember it. I don't remember it. And I made a short about this yesterday. That the one time that I thought that a Republican would do some harm to a Democrat was when Barack Obama was elected. I was like, y'all better not touch our first black president. You better not touch him. I thought for sure that they was gonna try to kill that man. And by all accounts, he probably have gotten threats just like every other public figure get threats. But there's nothing I can remember that nobody attempted to kill Barack Obama. They hated that man, and at that time, I loved that man. And even then, they didn't touch him. I feel differently about him now, but I thought for sure that they was gonna try to kill him. There's no way they're gonna let a black man be a president and not touch him. No, they let him ride for 2 terms, then touch him, and just told him that you did a horrible job. Get the freak out. We don't want to hear nothing else about no Barack Obama, no Obamacare, none of that. Now these people don't play about the same rules. I'm gonna pause there for a second, grab something to drink. I'll be right back, but I'll put this on this just in case somebody pop in while I'm gone. And I'm back. All right, I just gotta look at a few things here. Get it out. All right, so I guess they're supposed to be having a press conference here, talking about some updates with the Charlie Kirk's assassination. What I don't understand how this guy can get away that fast and be gone for that long. They tend to find people so fast, but they did not for some reason having issues with finding this guy. And then it looks like we had two people to try to run interference for him in the beginning. Why are they having so hard of a time finding this guy? God damn it, I forgot one more. All right, I had to go get a towel for this. I sweat a lot, so I put it down. If you guys are still there, if you're still tuned in, I have a question for you. If you guys can write it in the chat, if you're still there. How do you handle either your friends or family that don't agree with the views that you have about people like Charlie Kirk, um, Donald Trump, or conservatives in general? How do you tend to deal with it? What do you do, like, or if you are even in that predicament, you may be in a predicament to whereas everybody around you think the way that you think. I ran up and down my stairs like twice, so I'm kind of out of breath right now. Well, yeah, how do you handle it? I'm gonna move this down for a second and try to find something else to hold us over until they get on and start talking about this. Christopher Hendrickso. Because you let the masses tell it. You're not supposed to agree. He said, I respect their point of view, but also hold my own views. I agree to disagree and allow space for it. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. And it's depending on like the people that you surround yourself with, it is maybe a little bit easier said than done. Some people have enough common sense to be like, you know what, now this is not the time and place for this conversation. So when you say that it's over with, let's let it go, and we can go on and having a respectful relationship or conversation. But not black people. Oh no, not black people. Oh no. Y'all may not know this. What's going on, Brando? Appreciate you liking it live. But when black people do not agree with you, oh my lord, they'll cut off. They can know you all since you was a little baby in the womb. When they don't agree with you, especially over politics, which they really don't have a good understanding of for the most part. I'm not saying that all black people don't, because I'm not ignorant to the fact that just I'm a black person, just like I'm smart enough to get out there and understand what's going on in the political world. There are a lot of black people, and we saw it this election, a lot of black people that's smart enough to go and find out things for themselves. So I'm not saying that. But politics is the one thing that when black people don't agree with other black people about, they will cut you off completely. They don't care if you're their family. They don't care if you're their left hand. If they don't agree with you on it, they'll cut you off of it, and don't even know why. They can't even like think about it. Like, so you think you really not gonna talk to me anymore because I wanted to go with Trump over Barack Obama? Like, really? And their answer always be yes. We are the one people like that. Black folks are likely to forgive a person that murdered their family member before they forgive somebody that they don't, or they are cordial with somebody they don't agree with political. And that is mind-boggling to me. I don't understand how. Mind-boggling. And I know when a lot of them say this, oh, I made a post on my Facebook earlier, and somebody that I haven't spoke to in years. I haven't spoke to him since high school. Even when I was in high school, I don't think we even spoke. But he wrote on here, "Oh, you're cooning." Like, you fucking weirdo. What are you talking about? Just because people, I saw this man a different way than what you saw him. I'm cooning. Like, there's black. Like I said, one of my favorite people on earth is a black person. That's Candace Owens. And then they'll say, "Well, you only like her because she's cooning too." Oh, get me with these idiots. These freaking idiots, man. If you don't 100% agree with them, it's gonna be a big issue. Come on now, press conference. Give me something good. Tell me something good. So I can all right, like we gotta find something else until the time being. This is the same. I think this is gonna be the same. This is the same place, same police department that spoke yesterday, because this background and this podium looks the same. The Utah Police Department. No. I didn't mean to do that. I almost shut down all my streams. Cut it out. Yeah, but I do agree with you, Poopy, that you just gotta understand that people don't agree the way you agree, and be able to move on. That's just all it is. Like, I'm not gonna come and try to kill you because I don't agree with you. Get my whole life up for you. No. New video person of interest. They said there's a new video. Somebody.
We also have new video of what police are looking at right now this hour. TMZ has obtained new video of the before and after images of the suspect accused of killing Charlie Kirk. I want to show you the first video here. This is of the suspect walking to the venue in this neighborhood. Take a look. You can see the images now of that suspect. They're walking in the street. And if you can see, the person is walking with a limp there. And it is believed to be because that person has a rifle in the pants, and they are walking very difficult because of that object that is inside of the pants. Take a look here of that limp right there. And you can see there the suspect continuing to walk the street there, very close to where the venue was. And then this is after, where we see now that suspect clearly running in the field. And this was all obtained there by TMZ. And of course, police are looking at that. The feds are looking at that as well. But this is the newest video that we are seeing of all this play out. And again, just happening moments ago as well, we are getting a new shot of the person of interest, the suspect, where these new images just released by the Utah Department of Public Safety. I want to show you this one as well, a little bit closer up. You can see what they are hoping that by releasing these photos and
Pause. All right, so they said that he was limping down the street because they believe that he had the firearm, had the rifle in his pants. Why isn't he limping like he's limping up these stairs? And also, why aren't we able to see anything on either of these legs that would suggest that he had a firearm inside of these pants? And then the last thing is, if I'm going to carry a firearm inside of my pant leg, why am I going to wear these tight jeans? Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. Back to the other. Oh, that's not what I want to go to. Not wait for a second. We're gonna come back to that. But they ain't adding up, bro. Come on. Come on. I say here we go, and then they not starting. Guys, if you're still in here, do me a favor, like and share the live if you guys can. Like I'm gonna start doing this every day, and the support and love will be much appreciated. I want to get myself out there to much eyes as possible, so I can converse with people of like and different minds of the minds. So if you can, just give me a couple likes, share, subscribe, whatever you can do. I will really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you much. Appreciate it. I think this is the same Utah Police Department because this looks like the same setup from yesterday. I guess it would make sense because it's happening in Utah. And you know what else was telling? In Congress, they were trying to have a
Okay, this time it's a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
minute warning. Okay, and they were trying to have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk inside of Congress, and yet again, the Democrats rear their ugly head, and they could not just let that happen. They want to be disruptive. They was not going to allow for the people to pray on the floor of the Congress for Charlie Kirk. Now, if that had been the opposite way around, and let's say, God forbid, somebody like AOC was hurt, do you think that the conservatives in that building would have not allowed people to pray for AOC? And I'm only saying AOC because that's the first person that came to my mind. I know her and Charlie Kirk are in two different professions, but they're still in the same field. But do you think that the conservatives would have done that? The conservatives would have been happy to pray for and wouldn't have wished death on her either. Like I don't follow no damn AOC. I don't believe nothing she says, but I do not want nobody to hurt AOC. Like, why is that hard to understand? Like, I don't want nobody like if you did something wrong, I don't want nobody to hurt you. I want them to take your ass to jail for you to pay for what you did. Ain't no sense of killing you. Thank you, Brando, for liking the live. Appreciate you, brother. We're gonna get into Cash Patel too, man. I'm kind of disappointed in Cash Patel a little bit, but
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that.
Damn, you know how? That's a long drop.
Note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced, so these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo. And again, the T-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams and spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
Cash ain't gonna speak. Bonjoni ain't gonna speak. All right, so I'm gonna pause it right there, and I'm just gonna speak on some of the things. Oh, I didn't mean to do that I noticed. Right, and this has nothing to do with these guys giving us the information. But what does not make sense to me? Let's go back here. So they clearly showed us we just went over a video of them saying that he was walking with a straight leg, because he had already had the firearm in his pants legs. Now, when we watched the video of him going up those stairs, it did not look like he was walking with a straight leg going up those stairs. Both his legs seemed to be bending. And it also seems that that those pants was probably a little bit too tight to put a assault or AR in or rifle in, and nobody noticed. That's the first thing that doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm not saying nothing about the FBI. I'm just telling about what I'm seeing. Like that's calling what I see. And the other thing is, if you're insinuating that he put it in his pants legs to be able to, you have to be insinuating that he did that so he can be able to get it out fast enough to shoot and move. And I would be more inclined to believe that, but the fact that whenever he made the shot, he was very fast in breaking down the firearm, obviously, to get it off that roof, because I didn't see him drop the. Maybe I need to watch it again. I didn't see him drop the firearm off the roof before he jumped down. I didn't see a firearm drop. I saw a backpack, so that would insinuate that he broke down the firearm and put it in the backpack. So if he broke it down to put it in the backpack, why not just have it broken down already in the backpack and while you're going up the stairs and walking around? It seemed like that would be the most logical thing to do, especially being that it's only really 2 parts to put together a AR. Well, maybe 3 if you're talking about your bulk carrier group, but it's not that hard of a thing to take it out of a bag, put it together, because he broke it down pretty fast. I don't know. But and then what would be the purpose of? I don't get that. So let me watch this again. I want to see if this guy
in the top left corner
actually
throw
the gun down. It doesn't look like.
Walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner.
Okay.
As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions.
Right, so that I didn't see
smudges.
That's a backpack. He just got a backpack with him.
DNA.
He didn't have. He's not running around with a firearm in his
Where
hand.
we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes.
Why not
We'll
just?
replay that again
If
so
you
you
can
get a
break
view
it
of
down that fast, you can put it together that fast. Why risk
Important to note his
putting
black
the
t-shirt,
firearm
his black
inside
pants.
of your pants legs and your pants legs with those pants that's not that loose, and risk being made out that way? Because I think that if a person has if you have a AR inside of your pants leg and I'm around you, I'll know it. I'm gonna think that you have a fake leg, or I'm gonna think that something is not printing right. Even when your leg is fake, like there's telltale signs of that. But I don't get that. Maybe it's something that I'm not seeing right here. I'm not saying that what they're saying is lines just don't, right off top, it just don't make sense to me. And the second thing is, how did he know that he would be able to jump down on that side of that roof with that much confidence and not injure himself? He did not attempt to go back down those stairs. So he just knew that I can hit him right here and I could run to this side and jump off. How did he know that? You think that was just luck, something that he just figured out in the spare of the moment? Or
And
you think that was just something he figured out in the spare of the moment? Just took a deep dive, okay? Wrist hurt his knee, twisting the ankle, breaking the leg. He knew how to jump from higher places, because that's not a short distance to fall. That's not a short distance. You have to know that you'll be able to stick that landing. That's just my opinion on it. Yeah, this ain't no ordinary person. I don't think this is gonna be an ordinary person. Not by a long shot. This is not gonna be an ordinary person. I think that he's a younger person that has some training. That's what I believe. All right, let's go to I want to see Charlie Kirk's what do you have to say? I want to hear it on Colbert. It's gonna be fake. Let's see what's going on.
And if you are just joining us, we heard from Lindsay Regis, who is there right now, and she said about 200 to 300 people have showed up, and they're on the left there. And we're trying to see who's coming off the plane right now. We're not sure just yet. There's Erica Kirk, the blonde right there, with the sunglasses coming off the plane. Behind her are the Vances right there. The second lady and the vice president behind.
Yeah, President Trump today said that she is just devastated by all this, and rightfully so. These kids will not know their father.
In my opinion, too many things worked too perfectly for him. He found the right building. He was able to get access to that building with the line of sight to Charlie. Then he also knew that he could just run and jump off the building on the other side. and safely get down there without hurting themselves. You know, this ain't. I tell you what, and I don't mean to say this to sound derogatory, because I have no issues with nobody. I don't care what you believe in, as long as you're not trying to make me believe in what you believe in, we're gonna be fine. I don't know too many people that's transgender that can make that drop. That they don't have the balls to do something like that. Now I know some that can whoop your ass. I know a lot of people of the LGBTQ community that will put the paws on you, but they don't. When it comes to stuff like that, they're not jumping off no buildings. They're not doing no skydiving. That's not something that they really want to partake in. So. Maybe they're not saying that this guy is transgender. He's just being a martyr for the transgender community. Nah, he ain't no transgender. I tell you that. Nope. Nah, they take a means. They take a means to do that. I don't believe that. No. I don't think that the real. Thank you for sharing the live, Poopy. I don't think that the motive behind this had anything to do with Charlie's standpoint on transgenderism and women and men's sports and men and women's sports. I don't think it has nothing to do with that. I think that bullet engravement is to point at somebody that it'll be easy to say, well, hey, this community is upset with Charlie anyway, so this is what we're gonna say who did it. It's just like them saying, "Oh, Russia did it," when it's what they call it, false flag. I feel like that's a false flag. Ain't no.
President Trump did say that he had heard that
we saw him running off that roof with some fingernail polish on, running in a weird way. You know how they tend to like trample along. Then we can say, yeah. This is somebody that's part of that community, but even if I'm distraught about how your beliefs on that community, as a straight man, I'm not gonna go and take your life over that. No, I'm not gonna do that. This guy was hired, and he knew what he was doing, and he knew where to go to after he did.
The funeral will likely happen in about a week or so, probably the next weekend.
And probably here.
And probably here is what he said. Again, just what he said today. Nothing is set in stone as far as the funeral goes just yet. And of course, when that does happen, when we hear anything, we'll pass that on to you.
Yeah, I think, we talked about the horror of seeing this on social media.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it.
Live stream there. Initially, like I said, I just wanted to give a little background to how I got from where I was to where I am now, as far as the way I think. And eventually, in the future, once I get a lot of more participation and I get out there a little bit more, I'll share my full story, my full background, and hopefully we can build from there. And I don't want to get to the point where this was always my vision to get into the political side of things while gaming and talking to people of all kinds of backgrounds and getting their perspective on things, and do it in a fun way. I don't want to just be I never planned to be just a hardcore commentator on political things. I want to talk everything from political things, cultural things. I like gaming, as you see. I'm going to go do some streaming here just a second over on TikTok Studios, gaming. But man, I can't wait to see what we can do in the future. And thanks to everybody who came by and shared their live and gave me some likes. Thank you, Poopy. And there was quite a few people who joined in and commented. Above Stacked, Sarah, a lot of you guys came in and just gave me just warm response. You don't understand how much that means to me, especially by me being such a small creator. I'm going to try my best to do this a lot more often. I think that this situation that happened with Charlie probably was the needle in the haystack for me to let me, not the needle haystack, the needle that broke the camel back, whatever it is, and gave me the motivation to just go out here and actually do it. So I want to say thanks to you guys for participating in the stream, and I hope to see you guys out here with me and discussing some more topics in the near future. So until then, if anything else pops up, I'll pop up again on live, and we can discuss it if I find out any more information. But until then, you guys have a great night, and I hope you have some good sleep. And maybe we can catch this killer before morning rise.